Hello and welcome to a screencast that will help you as a newly hired employee of Expeditionary Learning learn some things about the site that pertain specifically to us as staff members. This screencast will cover three topics: the staff library, how to manage users of EL Commons, and how to post a job or help schools post a job on our EL website. My name is Cindy Guzwell. I'm the Director of Program Resources. And after you watch this and perhaps some other screencasts, we will have a check-in call and I will support you with any particular needs that you might have related to your job. All right, let's get started with part one, which is being familiar with logging in, having an account, and then accessing the staff library. So notice at the top of my screen, it's going to either say log in or log out. So right now I know that I am not logged in, and in fact you probably have an account created for you already by Stephen Melzer, our Director of HR, but if not, you will want to begin by clicking on Create an Account. Notice that your full name will be your username, and that when you get down here, you will want to choose I am employed by EL. Right, once you have an account, then we can head straight to the login. And so when you log in, you will use your name as you normally write it and whatever password you set for yourself when you created your account. If you ever do want to change your password or change your profile image, you can do so by clicking on My Account. Also, for those of you who work with schools that are our partners, it's helpful to know to lead them to their account to change their profile picture or their email as well. All right, so let's jump into the staff library. We get there by clicking on Educator Resources. And notice that by logging in now, you can see these three gray bars underneath EL Commons. EL Commons is the password protected part of our site, and the only people who have access to EL Commons at this time are those who have a contract with us, so our whole school partners, and EL staff members, which allows you to see this third component of the staff library. The staff library is organized in the same way that the resource library is, but the two do not actually share any content in common. So the staff library is full of content that just pertains to you as an employee. It gives you some information about human resources and all the forms that you might need related to that, and it also gives you access to electronic copies of our toolkits and things that we just do not give our whole school partners access to. I'm going to call your attention to a few particular resources that are really handy to know about. The first one is templates, logos, document conventions, and document guidelines. We care a lot about consistency and craftsmanship in this organization, and so as you create new intellectual property or write letters or make PowerPoint presentations, this is where you'll want to start to make sure that you access the right logos, branding, marketing information, letterhead, PowerPoint, whatever it might be. Please familiarize yourself with our document conventions. There is a little short version cheat sheet, and then there is a full and complete document for those of you who will be doing research, creating new intellectual property. The full EL document conventions document is very helpful because it gives information about how we give credit when we cite other sources and what kind of footers to put in and how we name our documents, all that sort of thing. This has a lot of detailed information, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, Cindy, and here's my email address, or you can always pick up the phone. Okay, Another resource that you will be particularly interested in, especially if you are working in the field, are the field staff guides. Notice here too that the topics in the staff library not only show you information, but they show you who the person is that's in charge of that part of our work. So if you do work in the field and you have questions, your number one contact person is Sharon Newman, or your regional director. All right, many of you who are working in the field will already be familiar with the field staff guides because you will have started or be starting soon with School Coaching 101. All right, I also want to point out to you the National Institutes section. So for every one of our National Institutes, this is where we house our final sets of documents that get handed out to participants. We put selected items from the National Institute binders into the resource library, but this is where you'll find the whole ball of wax. So for instance, if you are looking for a lot of detailed information about assessment and daily instruction, you would go, oh, this is not a good example. Another part of the staff library that I'd like to draw your attention to is the National Institute section right here. For every one of our 3 or 5-day National Institutes, the staff library is where we house all of our finalized documents. We also work in Google Drive, but just know that EL Commons Staff Library is one place where you can not only see who is the keeper for a particular institute, but where you can also access all of the detailed information. So although there are some resources that are included in the resource library, this is where you'll find the whole ball of wax organized in the way that we distribute it at institutes. One other resource I'd like to call your attention to if you work in the field is the section of PD agendas from the field beyond National Institutes. So you and others often create agendas that you use with school staffs or professional services offerings so that we share and we don't start from scratch when we don't need to. You will want to check here first to see if on a particular topic there is already a PD agenda with resources built out that you could just draw from and adapt to suit your own needs. There are many more components of the staff library, but that probably gives you enough information to work your way around it. All right, so I am now going to shift to how to manage users. And if you work in the field, this is really important. If you don't, you can stop here. All right, for managing users, you will notice that when you're logged in as a staff member, you have the option of an admin panel. You'll want to go there and click on Manage Users. Then select one of the schools that you work with, let's say Answer, for instance, and hit Search in order to filter so that you're just seeing the folks who work at Answer Charter School. You can scroll down, and if there's more than one page, it will give you a little arrow, but in this case, it's just one page of users. And I'm noticing as I scroll through here that some folks are listed as EL Commons users, some folks are not, and some people are actually pending review. So that is why I come to this page, just to make sure that everyone at a school has access to EL Commons if they should. And so the first thing I want to check for is just to say, does this list match the staff list? And if not, then there's someone at the school that I need to work with to make sure that they get set up on EL Commons. The other thing is someone might have retired or moved on to another school, And Belinda Bowler might be an example of this. So once I know what the scoop is, I can just check the box next to her name and then either delete her as a user completely, or just, somebody has already done this, removed her EL Commons access, but left her as a user on the site. That allows her to do things like download products from the Center for Student Work. So there might be a reason that you want to take away someone's EL Commons access if they no longer work at the school. That's definitely true. Or depending on their situation, you may want to delete them entirely. So in the instance of someone who is pending review, anytime someone signs up for an account, you will be notified automatically via email once you're the associated person for that school. And it will bring you directly to this site, and this is where you would just click on Approve EL Commons Accounts if Deborah indeed needs or should be an EL Commons user. So it's a really wise idea to just search for each one of your schools and make sure that access to EL Commons looks right on. All right, the last thing that we should take care of here is about job postings. People love using the ability on our site to post a job at their school, and that way they're communicating with the rest of the EL network as well as anybody who comes to the EL site to look for a job. And at each school site, we recommend that you designate, or the principal designates, one person as the job postings editor. So in this case, let's say that it is probably Heather Dennis, who is listed as the principal or school leader. So we would click on her name and we would hit the edit button, scroll down, and select the box next to Job Postings Editor, and then hit Save. I'm not going to do that right now though, and instead I'm going to just show you that once a person is a Job Postings Editor, they will be able to click on the About Us section of the website, and now they're going to see this option, Post a Job at an EL School. And when they click on that, it's all pretty straightforward. Any field that has a red star is a required field, and so they should give the job a title, put in whatever description they want, designate the grades and region. Their school will pop up automatically. And notice that the end date for the job posting has a box here, and when that date passes, this job posting will automatically disappear from the website. We do not house those long-term in our system. They can also attach files to the job posting if there are additional resources that they would like, and then they just come down to the bottom and hit Save. That is how to make someone a job postings editor, so that when people click on Careers at EL, they're able first to see careers through Expeditionary Learning, the organization, and then careers at EL schools. If you have other questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm happy to help you out. Thanks for tuning in.